Open world games used to be the crown jewel of gaming. Massive maps, endless icons, hundreds of hours on the box. But lately, something's changed. Players are bouncing off checklists, critics are side-eyeing bloat, and even publishers are rethinking scope. So if everything is bigger than ever, why are so many of us having less fun? Well, today we're unpacking the open world fatigue, how we got here, the economics that push games to swell, the design patterns that turn wonder into chores, and what the next evolution could look like. We'll also spotlight the few open worlds that still feel magical, and why they succeed where others stumble. And by the end, you'll have a framework to tell whether an open world reveal is promising or another map full of errands. Let's get into it. The symptoms, how fatigue shows up. Across social feeds and forums, the same refrain keeps appearing. I don't want another 120-hour map covered in icons. That sentiment has gone loud enough that some publishers have publicly pivoted scope. Take Assassin's Creed Mirage. A rare, smaller, stealth-focused entry was greenlit after Ubisoft saw fans tiring of mega RPG sprawl. While that's a 2023 release, it's become a reference point devs still cite for the right size design in 2025. We're also seeing the market crown focused, not open world hits. In 2024, Helldivers 2 exploded to 12 million sales in its first 3 months, the fastest selling PlayStation Studios game ever, without a giant map or checklist design. It sustained a huge cultural moment simply by making moment to moment co op chaos compelling. And even within open worlds, players gravitate towards purpose driven experiences rather than encyclopedic collectathons. Elden Ring is a standout counterexample that avoids fatigue by refusing the icon hunt. Its mystery-first structure and minimalistic UI grew to 25 plus million base sales by mid 2024, with a DLC that sold 5 million in days. So curiosity, not checklists, drove engagement. The economics that made worlds balloon. Open worlds didn't get huge by accident, budgets did. In 2025, AAA costs routinely stretch into the hundreds of millions, and that isn't just ray tracing. Tooling, headcount, VO, mocap, and the sheer content load send costs skyward, which then pressures teams to promise hours per dollar as the value proposition. Take Bloomberg, for example. Bloomberg's reporting this year underlines how multi-factor cost inflation, not just graphics, is driving massive budgets. Moreover, the publishers also trained us to equate size with value, and sometimes for very blunt reasons. The Assassin's Creed 3's director, Alex Hodkinson, said Ubisoft pushed teams to add playtime and bulk out games partly to curb used game resale by keeping players engaged longer. That incentive bakes more hours into green light logic, regardless of whether the extra hours are fun. And when a project takes 5 to 7 hours, the stakes get existential. Slip a quarter and the investor confidence wobbles. That's why the industry defaulted to safe patterns like map towers, outposts, crafting loops, and perk trees. Systems that scale broadly and look good on slides. So the cost logic made sense until players stopped feeling wonder and started feeling homework. Design patterns that create plot. Pattern number 1, the icon carpet. It starts as a helpful guidance and ends as paralysis. When a HUD is bristling with collectibles, semi-cams, and 5 currencies, exploration flips from discovery to obligation. Many 2020s open worlds adopted this MMO-like structure to retain players, but it erodes fantasy by making you a janitor. Pattern number 2, progression labyrinths. Layered skill trees, color tier loot, and time getter upgrades can be satisfying in isolation, until they multiply. Combined with live service dailies, they turn play into maintenance. And even successful live service games struggle with churn. 2024 to 2025 has been a graveyard for yet another service loop that can't differentiate. Pattern number 3, content for content's sake. A forest of side quests doesn't equal narrative texture. Assassin's Creed's own leadership has publicly wrestled with back-to-basics argument over the last few years to fight that sameness. So when players say fatigue, they usually mean I can see the template. Why some open worlds still work. Let's look at a few recent successful open world games. Number 1, Elden Ring. Elden Ring's world is dense with possibility, not icons. The lack of heavy UI and breadcrumbing turns the map into a puzzle. Every horizon holds a rumor, not a checklist. That design supports player-driven goals and social discovery, which fueled word of mouth and staggering long-tail sales through 2024 to 2025, plus a DLC launch that behaved like a blockbuster release. Number 2, Helldivers 2. Helldivers 2 showed you can win 2024 without an open world by doubling down on repeatable emergent missions and social friction. So the lesson for open world teams isn't to go smaller, it's make every minute do work. Reduce the dead air between good bits and you won't need to promise 200 hours. Number 3. Assassin's Creed Mirage. Assassin's Creed Mirage and other back-to-core projects suggest publishers are experimenting with right sizing. And for players that means tighter runtime, stronger fantasy, fewer systems for system's sake, and more chances you'll actually finish the story you started. Publisher reality check. Fatigue isn't just a design problem, it's a portfolio problem. Several publishers had a rough 2024 precisely because the big bets missed, or familiar templates failed to ignite. PC gamers Euro and Reed on Ubisoft called 2024 dire, underscoring how hard it is to keep selling the same loop at industrial scale. And when fatigue meets cost inflation, margins vanish. And all this is pushing a strategy pivot, including fewer gigantic all-in words, more diversified sedans, some flagships, some mid-scope projects, some expansions, DLCs, and a willingness to let not every game be a 6-year monolith. Bloomberg's budget analysis this year has to explain why the cost curve is unsustainable unless scope discipline returns. And we're already seeing investors ask different questions, like what's the core fantasy? Can traversal be joyful without collectibles? Does the map have secrets, not chores? If the answers are weak, projects are getting pared back, or redirected to formats where the fantasy actually sings. The road back to wonder. Now let's look at the design principles that can help us get back on track. Number 1. Mystery over map markers. Hide more, tell less. Players are hungry for trust, to follow curiosity rather than GPS. Use didactic clues, rumors, and landmarks. Support social discovery. If your world is truly interesting, the community will do your marketing. Number 2. Traversal as a toy. If simply moving through the world is pleasurable, the content density requirements plummets. Think of the glider in The Legend of Zelda, or the traversal in Ghost of Tsushima. Traversal isn't filler, it's a system that can carry half your experience if it's expressive. Number 3. Scope with teeth. Pick a fantasy and commit. If the pitch is be a thief, build 10 unforgettable heists instead of 70 icon errands. If it's survival, make weather and scarcity matter. Tight scope liberates level design and lets narrative breathe without 50 hours of busy work. Open world games aren't dying, lazy open worlds are. Players still love exploration, but they're rejecting fatigue, systems that confound fantasy with chores. The 2025 standouts prove the path forward. Either craft worlds that invite curiosity like Elden Ring, or shift focused experiences that respect time like Helldivers 2. And as budgets swell and portfolios wobble, the smarter studios will choose clarity over quantity, and mystery over map markers. And that's how you make the next open world feel new again. But what about you? What open world games last surprised you? Drop it in the comments down below. And hey, if you like this video, click like, share, and subscribe to watch more videos like this one. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Until then, stay a silver.